Good day everyone, mabuhay. So my topic for today is cooking methods. Understanding cooking method and techniques become even more essential if you create your own recipes and love experimenting with food to create fusion foods or just achieve the right taste, texture, aroma, color, and overall feel of food. So first is baking. This is the most precisely measured and timed method of cooking. This method gradually transforms the dough, making a golden crust on top and trapping the moisture instead, giving you a soft or chewy inside. This method is best used to make bread, cookies, etc. Second is roasting. It is very similar to baking as it is done in an oven and has moderate heat exposure for longer periods. The difference that roasting is a term used for meat, chicken, turkey, and vegetables, while baking is used for flour-based goods like cakes, bread, and other desserts. Third is barbecuing. In simple terms, it is grilling food on hot coal, creating a char-boiled or smoked taste in the food. It is usually done outdoor at family gatherings. This method is best used to cook a quick cooking and marinated cut of meat like chicken, fish, etc. Fourth is broil. In this method, food is exposed to direct and intense heat in the oven. Unlike baking, the temperatures are high and for short periods. Broiling is used to give a crisp and golden crust to already cooked food like casseroles or cheese pie. Fifth is rotisserie. It is a method of spit roasting in which meat is stewed on a spit and cooked slowly. So ang pasabot ng spit na kay katumutusok sa chicken ng hold nila. Most of the extra fat drains into the tray from the vertical spit and the meat develops a lovely roasted flavor. Next is grilling, the favorite method of all dry-heat cooking methods. The food that can be grilled is meat, cheese sandwich, fish, fruit, or even marshmallow. The food is exposed to the direct heat of coal, gas, or electric grill to produce lightly charred, delicious results. Next is blanching. This method of cooking is best used for delicate vegetables like asparagus. It keeps the taste and vibrant color of the vegetable intact. The vegetable is cooked for a short duration in scalding, boiling water and then chilled in icy cold water. Next is boiling. This is the most common of all cooking techniques used every single day in all kitchens to cook almost everything from meat to veggies. The food is completely submerged in water and cooked at high temperature until fork tender or al dente. It is best used to cook carbs like pasta, potato, and rice. Next is braising. Braising is cooking in which meat is cooked in very little liquid on slow heat in a tightly covered container. In the contrast, when you cook meat at higher cooking temperature, like when you cook beef in boiling water, the muscles shrink and make the beef tough and chewy. Next is stewing. Stewing means cooking meat or poultry, vegetable, and lentils on low heat with food completely immersed in the liquid. The consistency of a stew is like soup. Stewing is similar to braising and you might confuse both. The difference between stewing and braising is the amount of water used in cooking and the final product. And the next is poaching. In this method, the food is submerged in the liquid and cooked until tender. But unlike boiling, the temperature is moderate and not rolling boil. This allows delicate protein like chickens, eggs, and fish to cook slowly, keeping the texture intact and moist. Next is simmering. This method is used to make sauce, curries, gravies, and even soup. The liquid is slowly cooked at temperature that stays below boiling point but softly rolls, producing tiny bubbles and steams. This helps thicken the sauce and gradually cook it while slowly releasing the oil and intensifying the flavors. And the next is steaming. In this method, food is cooked in steam. It is a wet heat cooking method in which food comes in contact with steam alone and doesn't come in contact with the water, keeping the flavors concentrated and the meat moist. Next is sautéing. This is another darling cooking method that is more of French origin. Sauté means to jump, and after heating oil in the pan, you literally keep jumping the veggies until they are soft but not thoroughly cooked. The constant jumping or stirring keeps the veggies or meat like tenderloin or mince in contact with oil. Next is frying. This is a widely used method to rapidly dehydrate the surface of food by introducing it to very hot oil. It is also a dry heat method, considering the fact that we are removing the moisture in the surroundings. This method is best used for buttered and crusted food. And then next is stir frying. This technique is of Chinese origin, very similar to sauteing, but the difference is the higher heat. Use of a wok that allows plenty of cooking surface and quick stirring which creates a seared flavor. This method is best for cooking noodles, fried rice, and typical Chinese stir fries like beef. Next is searing. Searing literally means to cook on high heat. The purpose of this sort of cooking is to make crust of meat like steaks and intensify food flavors and color. Searing is a cooking technique that exposes ingredients to a high temperature to create a crisp browning on the outside. Pressure cooking is the process of cooking food with the use of high-pressure steam and water or a water-based liquid inside a sealed vessel called a pressure cooker. The high pressure limits boiling and creates higher temperature, not possible at lower pressures, which allows to be cooked much faster than a normal pressure. Finally, smoking. Smoking is a method of cooking meat and other foods over a fire. Wood chips are added to the fire to give a smoky flavor to the food. Smoking is separate from drying. Smoking adds flavor to the meat, fish, and poultry and provides a small food preservation effect.